What's up guys, Tommy Bowyer here from Movie Rewind, and today we will be reviewing Venom. Now Venom is a 2018 comic book movie starring Tom Hardy and based on the Marvel character of the same name. And this is Sony's second attempt to create a Spider-Man cinematic universe, because we all loved it last time and the rights didn't have to go back to Marvel. Oh wait. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So as I'm so late doing a review on this movie, and because the majority of you have probably seen it, this is going to be a spoiler review. So if you haven't seen it for whatever reason, then just wait for the DVD to come out, watch that, and then watch this review. If you have seen it, then let's take off and begin reviewing Venom. Now, probably the best thing in this movie is Tom Hardy. You can really tell that he's putting his all into this role. And I think Tom Hardy does that a lot with all of his movies. He always tries to do his utmost best to give his brilliant performance. And he is actually really good at Venom. He's the best on-screen Venom we've had so far. However, if you include Topher Grace, then that's, the bar's not set very high. However, I do really like Tom Hardy as Venom. It's just the material that lets him down. I think he could have been a brilliant Venom if the actual storyline was great, because it's rubbish. It really is rubbish. Now, one of the worst aspects of this movie, and it lets down so many comic book movies, is the villain is absolute garbage. This is one of the worst comic book movie villains I have ever seen. He gets no development whatsoever. He is basically just there to pose a threat to Venom. And not even a big threat, to be honest. It's just probably the last action scene. They probably just thought, well, we need an action scene. We've got like 20 minutes left to fill. Oh, well, just put in some villain, have them fight, because everyone loves that, because no one's seen that before. This villain is just terrible, and he lets down the entire movie. So, even if Venom could have been something, the villain is so terrible that it just lets it down. However, if you have seen the post-credit scene of Venom, then hopefully, if this movie gets a sequel, which it's making a lot of money, so I think it will get a sequel, we could see Carnage. And Carnage is my second favourite Spider-Man villain. So don't mess him up, because if you do, I'll kill you. The actual storyline itself is kind of hit and miss for me. The beginning is not that great. It's your typical comic book movie setup. The middle is probably the best bit, and some of the interactions between Eddie Brock and Venom are actually pretty funny. And during the middle I thought, hey, this movie could be going for something. And then it got to the end. The end is the worst part of the movie. Sony just did a DC. They just thought, shit, we need a massive CGI battle, quick! And that was it. There's explosions and everything. It's just all fake. You can tell it's all CGI, so you're not engaged in it, because when you see bad CGI, you lose interest in it because you know it's not real. And Sony did what they usually do. They try to make a decent film, they have a good scene in it, and then they think, shit, people aren't going to watch it if there's not explosions in it. Which is just stupid. The ending lets this film down. If this movie was a bit more subtle, with maybe less explosions, a bit more darker, then it could have been good. When it turns into just your typical Michael Bay film, it just lets it down because it's just boring. On a final note, the acting from the majority is actually quite good. There's nothing wrong with the acting, it's just the material they've been given. The writing is so stereotypical. It's like you didn't have to have Venom. That could have been any comic book movie whatsoever. You could have inserted any hero in there. And it does make me wonder what Sony are trying to do. I mean, Spider-Man Homecoming made millions. And Sony got quite a bit of money from that. So I don't know if it's just their ego, because I'm pretty sure they realise that the majority of fans do not want them to make spin-off movies. We don't want to see Morbius the Living Vampire, the movie made by Sony. We don't want to see a Sinister Six movie made by Sony. We don't want to see an Aunt May movie made by Sony. We just want Marvel to create good, strong quality Spider-Man films. So Sony, just leave it alone. Let Marvel do it, because they have a better understanding of the character, and you're pissing me off with all your spin-offs, all your pathetic attempts to build a universe to catch up with Marvel. So just leave Spider-Man alone, Sony, because it's just pathetic now. So in conclusion, Venom is a shallow attempt by Sony to try and leech off the success of Marvel. While the performances from Tom Hardy and the majority of the cast are decent, it does not take away from the poor storyline, the bad CGI, and a villain which makes every Transformer villain look like Heath Ledger's Joker. And that is why Venom gets a 4 out of 10. Now, just let Marvel do anything with the Spider-Man character, because Sony, I don't want to see another movie related to Spider-Man made by you, because you just can't do it. So just stop. Just stop right now. So thanks for watching, guys. I really do hope you enjoyed my Venom movie review. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe in order to receive great and maybe even improved quality content in the future. And I will see you in the next one. See ya.